Hey guys, Scott Fishman here, here for Wrestling Inc. With so much news about third-party WWE and third-party sites and just the benefits that independent contractors get and just the benefits overall for pro wrestlers, I thought now would be a great time to bring in Gloria Lovell, who's the president of a new organization that just recently launched on November called WrestleConnex, which is an exclusive network of professionals comprised of those who work or perform in the professional wrestling industry. What's great about this organization is it helps with benefits, it helps with financial assistance, but it also helps with financial planning and just so many other great things. So I thought, what a great way to talk about this organization than to bring actually Gloria on, who's the president of the organization. So Gloria, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Scott.
So I spoke with Howard Brody, who's also a part of your board and a board member for this organization. So if you could just kind of give us a little background on how this organization came about and the idea for it.
Okay. As you mentioned, Howard Brody, along with Scott Hosey, David Buckler, and myself, we're all former Cauliflower Alley Club board members, and we've been friends over the years, and it felt like there was something missing, and there had to be more that we could do for the industry. And realizing that this is an area that's been neglected, offering benefits to the workers, we met with some vendors and put some ideas together and came up with WrestleConnex as a way to help those in the industry better themselves and their families. So it's kind of an old cliche, but it really is a labor of love, because we all love the industry and saw an area that was lacking, and this is what we came up with.
And a lot of people know your background with the Cauliflower Alley Club, but I know you also worked in WWE for some time, so if you could just talk about what your role there was and kind of how that experience has helped you formulate what you guys have rolled out a plan for this organization.
Yeah, I did work with for WWE for a time in marketing, and it really brought to light where there was this gap and what was missing for the workers. And, that kind of had been on the back burner for a long time, and between Howard and Scott and David and I, it's something that we all had known about and thought about, and nobody ever brought it up. And then all of a sudden one day we were on a phone call and somebody just mentioned, well, it'd be great if the guys had, or the workers had benefits. And so it kind of grew from there. But in being around the wrestling business for so many years and seeing that lack of benefits and just other ways that you can help workers in the industry.
Mm-hmm. And what's great, you're talking about health insurance, but it goes a lot beyond that. Disability insurance, life insurance, and things like that. If you can kind of just go into, if fans want to go to WrestleConnex.com and really see the details behind this great organization, but if you kind of just can round up a little bit just of what are some of the things that members would get when they sign up for this.
Well, what we started off with was the idea that workers needed health benefits. And so we partnered with an insurance company that offers group benefits, much like you would get through your regular employer. So they're group rates for the medical, dental, vision, life insurance, disability insurance, final expense insurance, those types of things. And lots of different options so that you can go in and look at different plans and decide what's best for you, either depending on your age or your family status, what you need to help you and your family.
Mm-hmm. And there's a application process. So when you go on the website, people apply for this. So talk about what's been the initial response. How many of these applications have you gotten, and just what goes into deciding whether you approve them or not?
Well, we want this to be for the workers. We're not a fan-based organization. And so workers that don't have benefits, those are who we want coming to our organization. And the application process, it's really, it's more for us to just make sure that we're keeping it for the workers and not just offering it to everyone in the public. And so it's not really like, we're going to check your references, check your history. We just want to make sure that, yes, you are a current or past worker in the industry, whether it's wrestling, ring workers, photographers, historians, announcers, just keeping it within the industry for those folks.
Mm-hmm. What's been the response that you've gotten so far?
The response has been overwhelming. Everybody realizes that this is something that's been needed for such a long time, and I think it really came as kind of a surprise to some people that we kind of came out of nowhere, and so it did surprise some people that now there was this option out there for them, and we lined up some ambassadors before we launched to make sure that we had folks who understood what we were doing and believed in what we were doing, so that they could go out and help promote for us. People like J.J. Dillon and Sergeant Slaughter and Melissa Cheerleader Anderson, Robin Smith, those people. David Marquez is on board with us now as well. So people that understood the need and believed in what we were doing and are out there helping us to promote this.
Yeah, when I saw Rockin' Robin's name, I was like, wow, that took me back. It's great to see her still involved and really helping. You have so many different generations involved in this, and I think what's great is your younger talent can really benefit from this from the ground up, especially the financial planning and just learning from these great minds who, some of them, they know other workers, a lot of colleagues of theirs that may have made mistakes down the line, or they have the experience of what it takes to kind of be successful beyond the wrestling business. So it's great that you have approved this team.
Yeah, and you mentioned Rockin' Robin, and she is someone who, after her wrestling career, has been so successful in business, and her experience in helping someone to think about, this is not going to be forever, and I do need to think about what I'm going to do when I'm not in the wrestling business anymore. She's an excellent person to get her advice out to younger people because she has been so successful.
And they're going to be participating in monthly online seminars. Is that correct? So have you already guys started up with this, or what is kind of the time frame?
We're looking to start those with our ambassadors in January, but we are planning, and we should be getting information out on this shortly, we are planning sort of a free preview seminar in December, mid-December, so we can do, FAQ and get people more familiar with what we're doing, especially for the younger folks that aren't as familiar with, having to find health insurance and having to start thinking about their financial future and the things that are involved in life that, those of us that have been around for a while and know about the need for insurance, life insurance, and 401ks and those type of things. So we're going to have a free preview in December where people can ask us questions about the organization, and we can teach them a little bit about how to look for benefits, how to choose benefits, what kind of benefits they'll need. So you want to look for that coming up in mid-December.
And this comes at a time where there's a big conversation when it comes to unionization. I know Andrew Yang has been a big proponent of that. How do you kind of figure in with this environment and then that discussion that we're seeing right now among those within the industry?
Okay, we're definitely not a union. We're strictly an organization that's providing benefits, and we don't want to be confused with any, union activity out there because we're not that. That question has come up several times, and just to be clear, we're definitely not a union.
Perfect. Glad to clarify that so people can hear, the verbiage being said, but then, a lot of people can draw, these assumptions, which glad that you were able to clear that up.
Of course.
What do you working with WWE and just how the business model has changed? What are, overall your thoughts on how Vince and WWE has kind of furthered their control of how talents make money, whether it's called with their third-party edicts that you've been seeing? Because nowadays with people being able to build brands outside of just wrestling, it's kind of handcuffing them in many ways of making additional living, especially during time when they can't tour. So what do you kind of make of that situation from your experience?
Well, it's been difficult for those in the business, not having these options from everywhere from the medical benefits to financial planning and things, and that just hasn't been available to them. It's just never been part of the landscape. From all of my years going way back into the 60s, it's just not been part of the landscape, and our goal is to be able to have organizations like the WWE letting their people know that this is out there for them. That it's not something that may be provided for them, but that there is an option out there for them. And there's lots of the organizations out there that we're starting to talk to now and hoping to get them on board.
And as far as the timeline, when you guys first had the initial discussions to launch, just talk about just the hours of time that you've put into making this roll out and making it work and make it right, and doing it the right way.
From the time when we all kind of had that aha moment where, this is what we need to do, everybody put their heads down and went to work, and we turned this around. We probably started talking about it late June, early July, and immediately started making the phone calls to get the vendors that we needed, and just putting the plan together and trying to decide what other benefits we could offer outside of the medical benefits. We've partnered with a company who will offer discount reward programs, discounts on travel, discounts on hotels, discounts on rental cars, and those kinds of things that will help those in the business as well to save money and save money for their family, discounts on theme parks and things like that. So we're going well beyond just looking at the medical benefits part of it, and we're still looking at other options out there to keep adding to the choices that our members will have. One of the biggest things that we're working on is putting together the electronic press kits, where the workers will be able to post photos and videos of their matches to their own specific site within our website, so that promoters can go and see them. And so there's an area for promoters to go and see them and kind of see their working and see what they do, but also a site for promoters where we're looking at different benefits that we can offer promoters, be they discounts on insurances and those types of things. So we don't want to be just that one, they offer medical benefits. We're going to keep building on this and keep looking for ways that we can help people.
And I think what's great also is just the mobilization of it. Like when you go on your website, you're keeping track of things that are going on in the news and wrestling business. Just like any other business has been hit hard by this, by the pandemic, and just you guys launching at this time, I think it's just the perfect time for this. I think a lot of people within the industry are looking for help and assistance and guidance, and this is one way of doing it. I mean, even, you've posted something on the 12th, even with Melissa Coates needing help for medical expenses and just for GoFundMe, and you just helping getting the word out. So this can be like a destination where people, like wrestling fans that want to support them as well, can also give back. So it's great to see that is kind of already that you've seen that response, and just the website itself, putting that together. I think that you guys have done a great job with the layout here.
I like the word that you use, destination, because that's really what we are. And we want to continue to grow that, but we are a destination for folks to go and look for that help. We know medical benefits and insurance benefits are really expensive, and if we're able to offer these group rates to people, we can be that destination for them to come, either to learn about, because a lot of people don't know about insurance, so to learn about it and to be able to acquire that.
And before I want to let you go, you touched on a little bit about your experience with WWE. So if you could just go on a little bit more detail on just the time frame you worked there and just how you got involved in the wrestling business and just when you became a fan.
Well, I became a fan way back in the early 60s when my grandfather started taking me to the matches, and just kind of grew up around the business, and he knew a lot of the guys, and so I grew up around them. And my time with the WWE was in the mid-'90s, so it's been a while. But the love for the business has always been there, from a very young age, and I became very good friends over the years with Lord Alfred Hayes and Nick Bockwinkel and Red Bastien, who were all very involved in the Cauliflower Alley Club, and that it was a way for me to stay involved in the business on the side of helping people, and that's what the Cauliflower Alley does. They're a great organization that helps people who have an immediate need for funds. And so it's just grown over the years. I spent nearly 20 years on the board of the Cauliflower Alley Club, and so this was the next step for us, for the four of us, looking at ways to continue to help those in the industry.
And it's got to be such a gratifying feeling for you to kind of to see all this come to realization for you guys. When I saw Howard kind of teasing what was to come and just seeing all the information, it's just such a cool idea and such a great cause that you guys have put together to help. So for fans that, well, not fans, I guess, for workers, those that are listening to this right now, WrestleConnex.com, just talk about how they can connect, no pun intended there, but with you and fans can help and just, now moving forward, you talked a little bit about the next couple months, but maybe within a year's time, like just some of the ultimate goals that you guys have.
Yeah, we're looking at holding live events a few times a year in different locations to sort of be a fellowship, but to get together with members and again, have these seminars where our ambassadors can help them grow their careers. That's our big goal right now is okay. Let's get this up and running. Let's get these seminars started, and those will be monthly, and we'll have different ambassadors on every month, and then getting these events going where we'll have ambassadors at these events that you can mingle with and learn from.